Hello everyone, my name is Ren, and today I would like to talk to you about what I think are the biggest misconceptions about learning to play instruments or sing or just make music in general. And yeah, I think that there's like five very common ones, and yeah, I thought that it's a good idea to talk about those. So, yeah, the first thing that I would like to discuss is the very common belief that some people are born with a certain talent for making music and some people are not, and therefore some are able to learn to do music and some are not. And well, to be honest, this is just not true at all. I just really wholeheartedly believe that music as a phenomenon has been with us for such a long time, pretty much as long as we as humans existed. I feel like it's just a very natural thing for us to do. And yeah, I really think that everyone is able to do music, to learn to play instrument or sing or just do whatever music related. And well, yes, I agree that some people have it easier than the others for numerous reasons. But I don't think that it's anyhow related to being born with some sort of a gift. And trust me, music is like a very natural thing for us to do. And if you want to learn to do music, you can absolutely do it. If you are really struggling when starting out to learn music, very best advice I can give to you is to not give up and just believe that sooner or later you're going to get it. If you just really don't know how to start out, I would recommend to, pick an instrument of your choice and look for some tabs online, if it's like a guitar or something, or just look for videos where people explain how to play something step by step. Because honestly, the step by step learning method is just really good when you're starting out and don't really have a good understanding of how the instrument works like. So, yeah. And while personally I would really recommend to learn music on your own while using various online sources, you can also consider going to a music school. Which actually brings me to my second misconception, which is that you really need to go to music school to learn to do music, to become a musician. And yes, I can agree that musical school can give you a really good understanding of how music works, how instrument works like, or how your voice works like, and all this theoretical stuff. And obviously it can also really help you with your technical abilities. Although I would like you to know that not every musical school is really great and that music school may not be for everyone. Personally, I have not been in a musical school and therefore I feel like my opinion on that may not be as valid as someone who has. Although I do know quite a lot of people who have been to musical school and even graduated from them, and they don't really recall this time as being very fun. Some of those people actually decided to give up on music after they quit music school, and that's actually really sad. You spend so many years practicing something and developing your potential and skills, and then you just are really tired of it after that. I'm not here to say that every music school is awful, that is certainly not true, but you have to keep in mind what I said, that music school is not for everyone, and not everyone will have enough passion and energy to actually benefit from that. And the third thing that I want to talk about is the idea that one has to focus on one single instrument in order to get good at it and just good as a musician. And yes, this is sort of true, but there's more to it. There's this old saying that if someone tries to be good at everything, he's not going to be good at anything. Now, I have to admit that I have this issue myself, but not with musical instruments and music in general, but with other stuff. I just try to do a lot of different things at once, and it's easy to get confused in that very often. However, when it comes to playing instruments, I feel like trying to learn various kinds of instruments. So, some string instruments, some blown instruments, some keys, percussion, and so on. It can actually benefit you in a very interesting way. As you see, when you learn various kinds of instruments and various different techniques, there's a couple cool things that are happening. So the first one would be that you gain a lot better understanding of how the music works, and you start to spot similarities and differences between those instruments, and therefore you gain this sort of understanding of musical relation between instruments in a band or an ensemble or something. What I believe is also happening is that you sort of reprogram your brain over and over again every once in a while when you pick another instrument or just try to learn a new technique, and it really keeps your brain very active and therefore entertained. And I really feel like it's a really good thing, to not get bored with something. If you've been playing guitar for many years and you would like to try something new, go for something new, try to play saxophone or a flute or just percussion or whatever. It's really important to keep yourself entertained and not get bored with what you are trying to learn. And the fourth thing that I want to talk about is the concept that you have to practice very, very regularly and quite a lot to get good. And while yes, this may be true, but once again, there's more to it. So for example, every day at 6 p.m. you just pull out your instrument from a case and start playing the very same exercises over and over again, day after day, for many hours. I bet that there will be people who will find this to be the best way or just a really good way to learn music. And yes, playing regularly is a good way to progress on your instrument. However, if you are more of a free-spirited person and you want to be a free-spirited musician, and if you want to get very fluent at music and be more, let's say, flexible or adaptive, this may not be the best way. Actually, personally, I found that learning to play instruments or just practice various, vocal techniques or whatever, is really best done when you feel like it. You don't necessarily have to practice one thing until you get it right and then practice another thing till you get it right. You can mix those things, and as I said before, it will keep your brain entertained and more active. And I actually believe that it will help you to learn the things that you are trying to learn. But what it also does is that it makes you feel more casual when playing instruments, and therefore makes you feel more natural when playing instruments. If playing instrument or making music becomes more natural thing for you to do, you will just get better at it because you will not hold yourself back. And as a matter of fact, I also believe that it can help you to deal with stage shyness or stage paralysis or whatever people call it. You know what I'm talking about. And here we come to the last part of today's video, which is that intrusive thought that all of us had at certain point, when you just see a very skilled musician that you look up to, and you think to yourself, why even bother? Why am I trying to get good when there's so many talented masters of music out there and I'm not going to get nearly half as good as they are? I think it's safe to admit that every musician at any point in their musical career has had this thought now and then. And yeah, something that I'm going to say may not feel like a big revelation for everyone, but nonetheless, I just really think that it's true. You see, music is not about competition, and it's not about being better than everyone else around you. It's just really all about having fun. And if you have fun doing it, you're doing it right. If you really feel like you suck at music and would like to get better, it's just really all about practice and not getting bored and having fun. And eventually you will develop and you will get better and better and better until you find a point where you're comfortable with your skills. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. And yeah, I know that what I said may not be a very big discovery for most people, but I don't know, maybe some people will find it helpful in some way. And as the last bit of today's video, I would like to share a little bit of personal story with you. which is that I was terrible at music. In my middle school, I was like the only person in my class that had like serious issues with passing music as a subject in school for, I guess, 2 or 3 years in a row, and mostly because I wasn't able to learn to play the recorder, which is just very ironic when you think that it's like my main instrument right now. But even though I was just really bad at music, at playing instruments, I wasn't able to sing or do anything music related. I wanted to, I enjoyed music and I wanted it to be a bigger part of my life. And my father, who used to be a professional musician back in the day, has helped me to start out. He showed me a couple of cool songs on guitar and recorder, just step by step, and from then on I started to look for tabs on guitar and I started to learn by ear. Yeah, by the way, learning songs by ear, by listening to a song and trying to play along and figure out the melody is a really good exercise, and I would greatly recommend to try learning by ear. It's just super cool and helps you to evolve super fast. And after I finished my middle school, I got really into music and playing various different kinds of instruments. And right now I play quite a lot of different instruments, and not to say that I'm any good at playing all of them, but I know how to play them. I'm not really good, but there's just many instruments that I can play something on. It's not going to be great, but I can do something. Currently my main musical focus would be blown instruments such as flutes, whistles, recorders, clarinets, jaw harp. I play a bit of didgeridoo, and I try to play guitar, but I mostly use it for arranging songs. And I do quite a lot of vocals actually. I'm not a really good singer. I'm trying to work on that. It's not easy, but I've been throat singing for a couple of years now, and this is one of the things that I try to do. Yeah, I just really wanted to share with you that my beginnings were not easy, and I was basically starting from point zero of musical ability, of knowledge, and I was able to progress from that. And you see, a couple of years later, I make music related videos on YouTube, and I'm trying to release my first EP on this March, and I have a couple of really cool albums that I've been working on for quite a while. And nothing is impossible, and you can totally give music a try, and trust me, it's totally possible for you or just anyone else, no matter how bad or good you are at music. If you want to, you can really make music one of the main things in your life. So yeah, thanks for watching. I really hope that I helped to some of you, and see you next time.